Dub. With the controversial ending to the Fever vs. Liberty game, many WNBA fans are calling out the referee problem, and they are demanding answers and they are demanding change.
The WNBA is in turmoil, and it all centers around one name, Caitlin Clark. The league's brightest star, a record-smashing phenom who's brought unprecedented attention to women's basketball, is now at the heart of a firestorm over egregious officiating, a shocking injury, and a referee who's just been quietly suspended. Hidden footage has surfaced, exposing what fans are calling targeted negligence, and the backlash is exploding.
I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim. And the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable.
This isn't just about missed calls. This is about a systemic failure that's left Clark injured, fans furious, and the league scrambling to contain the fallout. From viral clips of refs blatantly ignoring her to a minus 31 free throw discrepancy that defies logic, the evidence is undeniable. Now, with one official mysteriously removed from games, the question isn't just what happened, it's who allowed it. Before we dive into the bombshell footage, the ref suspension, and the league's shocking silence, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for the unfiltered truth. The WNBA won't address this, but we will. Let's get into it. The injury that should have never happened.
Clark is down, grabbing at her left ankle in pain. As in a lot of pain after going down.
Caitlin Clark isn't just playing through pain, she's playing through negligence. For weeks, fans noticed her limping, grimacing, and wrapping her quad in heating pads. But the refs? They looked the other way. Then came the breaking point, a devastating quad strain that forced her to miss her first game since 2017. This wasn't bad luck. This was a direct result of unchecked physicality and blatant no calls.
Caitlin Clark limping towards the Indiana bench. Oh, just a misstep before she got to Bree Jones.
The footage doesn't lie. In game after game, Clark absorbed brutal contact with 0 whistles. Drives to the rim ended with her on the floor, no foul. Defenders hacked her arms, no foul. Even when she confronted refs with evidence, they stonewalled her. Now the consequences are undeniable. The league's biggest draw is sidelined, and the millions she brought in, vanishing. This isn't just a bad call, it's a league-wide failure. If the WNBA can't protect its MVP frontrunner, what does that say about its priorities? The injury was avoidable, the suspension proves it, but the real question is, who's next? The suspended ref cover-up or accountability? The WNBA doesn't want you to know this, but sources confirm a referee involved in the Caitlin Clark controversy has been silently suspended. No press release, no explanation, just a sudden disappearance from upcoming games. The timing? Too convenient. This was the same official caught on camera turning his back on Clark mid-timeout, a moment so disrespectful it went viral instantly.
Frustrated there. That was all ball.
But here's what's chilling. The league hasn't admitted a thing. No transparency, no apology, just radio silence while fans connect the dots. Was this ref made a scapegoat, or is this proof the league knew the officiating was rigged? Either way, the message is clear. They got caught, and now they're erasing the evidence. The suspension isn't justice. Justice would be a public investigation. Justice would be Clark getting the same calls as every other superstar. Instead, we get shadow bans and hidden decisions. Exactly the kind of secrecy that fuels conspiracy theories. The ref's gone, but the system that enabled this, still in place. hidden footage that changes everything. The viral clip that exposed the WNBA's officiating crisis lasts just 12 seconds, but it speaks volumes. 3 referees stride past Caitlin Clark during a timeout, their body language screaming intentional disregard. One official pointedly turns his back as Clark attempts to communicate, while the others stare blankly ahead like she's a ghost. This wasn't passive neglect, it was active dismissal of the league's most marketable player. Within hours, the video amassed 8 million views across platforms, with even NBA stars like Draymond Green tweeting, "They treating her like she's invisible. That's wild."
Screening action down low. Clark has to get on second left. Clark doesn't get that.
The Liberty game footage is even more damning in slow motion. At the 2:17 mark of the fourth quarter, Clark absorbs 3 separate contacts from Natasha Cloud: arm hook, body check, and a swipe at the ball. Yet the officials stare motionless. The broadcast crew falls silent before analyst Rebecca Lobo mutters, I don't understand." Fever players' reactions tell the story. Kelsey Mitchell punches the scorer's table, while Aaliyah Boston waves her arms in disbelief. The league's post-game last 2-minute report later confirmed 2 missed fouls. But by then, Clark's quad strain had already sidelined her.
And a quick one here, 2 for 1.
Clark stutters it, but blocked. Big-time collision. And
Not surprisingly, this footage reveals a chilling pattern. Over 7 games, Clark endured 23 drives with clear contact and received just 4 foul calls, a 17% rate compared to the league average of 42% for starting guards. The most egregious no calls share a common thread: referees positioned with clear sight lines, yet frozen in inaction. Former NBA official Tim Donaghy weighed in, when multiple refs ignore obvious contact repeatedly, it's either incompetence or instruction. With the league refusing to release full game officiating transcripts, fans are left to wonder, is this negligence or design?
I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim. And the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable.
The free throw district, pantsy that defies logic. The Fever's 31 free throw differential over 5 games isn't just lopsided, it's statistically impossible without bias. Consider this: Indiana attempted 47 drives to the paint in their June 2 matchup against Chicago, the exact same number as the Sky, yet shot 8 FTs to Chicago's 24. The math defies basketball fundamentals. Per second Spectrum data, teams averaging 25-plus paint touches typically earn 18 to 22 FT attempts. Even accounting for defensive schemes, a 75% disparity in calls violates NBA/WNBA officiating consistency guidelines.
Be able to play through that. We've got to be able to control the things that we can control. I felt like at times our late game execution was good, and I consider most of the latter half of the fourth quarter, because it was a tight ball game. We're still not recognizing our mismatches. I felt like AB had plenty of opportunities. We could have gotten her touches down low, and we had some turnovers, key turnovers. We settled.
Coach Stephanie White's press conference outburst, "We're being robbed in broad daylight," was backed by shocking visuals. Side-by-side clips show nearly identical plays. Clark gets mauled on a drive, no whistle, while 30 seconds later, a Sky guard gets breathed on, 2 Fs. The most damning comparison? The league's own analytics show Indiana leads the WNBA in paint points, but ranks last in FT rate. A disconnect that screams systemic failure.
Bonner on the bench coming into the game now.
And we start our engines in Indianapolis as New.
This discrepancy has real consequences. The Fever lost 3 games by single digits, where the FT gap exceeded 8. At current pace, this officiating bias would cost them 5-7 wins over the season, potentially their playoff spot. Veteran refs anonymously told The Athletic that such extreme differentials typically trigger league reviews. Yet the WNBA's only response has been silence. When reporters asked Commissioner Kathy Engelbert about the Net 31 gap, she deflected, "We don't comment on officiating. For a league preaching accountability, the hypocrisy is staggering."
They can stop Caitlin and that they're the better team.
Down and is grabbing at her left ankle. Oh no. Clark is.
The millions at stake. Clark's injury crashes MVP odds. Clark's quad strain didn't just hurt Indiana. It erased $28.00 in projected value. Before the injury, her MVP odds at FanDuel sat at 120, implied 54.5% probability. They've since cratered to plus 210, 32.3%, the steepest drop for a healthy frontrunner in WNBA history. Sports economists estimate this shift reflects $19.00 M in lost betting handle across major books. More devastating? The $9.00 M sponsorship hit. Nike had been preparing a signature shoe announcement tied to her MVP campaign, now indefinitely postponed per sources. The financial dominoes keep falling. StubHub reported 17% ticket price drops for upcoming Fever home games within 48 hours of her injury announcement. Local businesses feel it too. Indianapolis's Clark effect had boosted game night revenues by $1.20 M per home date, with bars/restaurants near Gainbridge Fieldhouse seeing 83% spikes on Fever game day. Even broadcast partners are sweating. ESPN's June 5 Fever Sky matchup drew 986K viewers. Strong numbers, but 37% lower than Clark's previous appearances.
Mabry trade, and she has stepped opportunity. Caitlin Clark for three, rattled her first deep shot.
Well, she's definitely...
The cruel irony? The WNBA needs Clark's revenue more than ever. League merchandise sales were up 756% year over year in Q2, with Clark jerseys accounting for 43% of all purchases. Yet the same league let her get mugged on court. As sports economist Andrew Brandt noted, they're killing the goose laying golden eggs. With the WNBA's media rights deal up in 2025, this self-inflicted crisis couldn't come at a worse time. If Clark's injury extends or worse, reoccurs due to unchecked physicality, the league's $1.00 B valuation dreams could evaporate overnight.
The hit, if it affected you, how it affected you, and through the rest of the game. Thanks.
Yeah, obviously got me pretty good in the eye. I don't think it affected me, honestly. I felt like I got good shots, they just didn't go down. And obviously a tough time for that to happen. I got some really good looks. I felt I had pretty wide open threes in the first half that...
The Leech Whisperers. They had orders from the top. The most explosive theory yet? This wasn't rogue refs. Sources hint the real scandal goes higher, with whispers of selective officiating approved by league higher-ups. One commentator flat out said they were following the commissioner's instructions. Another fan tweeted, "This doesn't happen without permission."
Indiana bench. Ooh. Oh, before she got to Bree Jones, and Clark Aaron is going right back to the locker room.
Is it proof? No, but it fits. The WNBA loves Clark's revenue but hates her white savior narrative. Some veterans resent her hype. Did the league allow refs to humble her? The timing, a ref suspended after backlash, suggests damage control, not integrity. Until the WNBA speaks up, speculation will rage. But one thing's clear, if the commish knew, this isn't a scandal, it's a cover-up, and fans deserve answers. Clark fights back, paper in hand, fire in her eyes. Even injured, Caitlin Clark wouldn't stay quiet. Halftime footage shows her storming toward refs, paper in hand, pointing at plays. This wasn't frustration, it was a calculated strike. The same player who nearly got suspended for techs is now calling out the system from the sidelines.
Hits it, she's got time. Cloud defending. Clark, long three at the horn. Oh! Caitlin Clark rising from the S.
Her message, protect your stars. Because if she gets mauled, every player is at risk. The refs, no reaction. The league, no comment. But Clark's refusal to back down, legendary. She's not just fighting for calls, she's fighting for the WNBA's soul. And if the league ignores her, the fans won't.
Steph, do you know when Caitlin's injury happened?
I don't know when it happened. I know afterwards, we got a message that she had something going on with her leg, and they were getting an MRI, and then we got the word yesterday.
Was it after, the Liberty game?
Fans revolt. Protect Kathleen trends nationwide. The outrage is unstoppable. Protect Caitlin is trending. Petitions demand NBA refs take over WNBA games. Even casual fans are livid, flooding social media with comparisons to rigged sports moments. The mood? We see the bias. Stop gaslighting us.
To pick up Caitlin Clark from the second she touches the basket. Burton did there. All over Caitlin going and
Creators are dissecting every no call. Podcasts are blasting the league. Even rival fans admit this is wrong. The WNBA wanted attention? Well, congrats. Now the world sees exactly how it treats its MVP. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about Clark. It's about every player who's been screwed by bad reffing. The Fever's minus 31 feet gap proves it's bigger than one star. And if the league keeps ignoring it, the backlash will only grow.
I feel you're looking to reach a certain time you're going to be reevaluated.
Yeah, I'll be reevaluated this weekend, so I'll miss this weekend's game. But after that, it's, day by day and see how I feel and just kind of turn to the medical staff and what they think. But I feel like I've made a lot of progress and I feel good and, not going to rush coming back. It's just not worth it. But after this weekend, I'll be reevaluated and we'll have a better idea of when I'll return.
What happens next? Will the WNBA finally act? The million-dollar question. When Clark returns, will anything change? If the refs keep swallowing whistles, the league risks alienating its new fans. But if they suddenly protect her, the veterans will cry favoritism. It's a no-win scenario. Unless the WNBA admits the problem and fixes it for everyone. Possible solutions? Independent officiating reviews. Fines for egregious no calls. Transparency on suspensions. But silence? That's complicity. The ball's in the WNBA's court, literally. The WNBA's defining moment.
And that's the way to push the ball in transition. That's not gonna waste much time. Caitlin Clark.
This is bigger than Caitlin Clark. This is about fairness, credibility, and growth. The WNBA finally has the spotlight. But if it fumbles this, the legacy could be irreparable.
That's great, and you have an opportunity to come back the next game and, try to play a little bit better and give yourself a chance to take it back home and win.
Last one. Quickly circling back on the play with your eye, what would you say to the crowd of people that don't get hit like that? Was it intentional? Maybe even
It wasn't intentional by any means. You just watched the play. It wasn't intentional.
All right, thank you, Caitlin.
Thanks.
Clark will return. The refs will keep calling games. But the trust? That's shattered. Until the league proves it cares more about integrity than politics. So what do you think? Was the ref suspension justice or a cover-up? Should Clark speak out or let her game talk? And is the WNBA protecting its stars or sacrificing them? Drop your takes below, smash that like button, and subscribe for more uncensored sports breakdown. The drama's just getting started.